Nothing will prepare you. There's no comparison in life that's similar. It's like being thrown into the middle of the ocean and you just have to deal with it. But there is this, if you're aware of it, there is this instinct that comes out, this parental instinct. And both mothers and fathers have it. You just know what to do. You just know your child instinctively. I had an amazing time with my son. I connected to him straight away, and the moment I had my son, something just changed in me, and I could just be the mother I needed to be to him, and it was beautiful and it was amazing. Then I had my daughter. When a mother has a daughter, it kind of brings you back to your childhood. Look, everyone's different, but it takes you back to a part of yourself that you haven't dealt with. And so she triggered so much past trauma in me that it got to a point where it became unbearable. And things got very, very dangerous and very difficult very quickly. And then the interesting thing is, when I had my son, my husband went through a similar thing. You're so trained and conditioned to parent the way that you were parented, so you naturally tend towards that. So how do you break that cycle? How do you become a conscious parent? How do you raise your kids to live a better life than you did? That is the hardest part about parenting. What I understand to be postpartum depression, and I've spoken to doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists and nurses about this, is the inability to connect and love your child. I didn't have that. It's not as black and white as labeling it like that. It's very complex. And I think the bottom line is, as a parent, what happens inside and what happens underneath it all is dangerous, and it's a parent's responsibility to make sure that their mental health is stable and good enough to be able to raise children, because the damage you will do to your child if that's not in place is almost irrecoverable. I wasn't doing much to look after my mental health, to be honest with you. I absolutely became a martyr. I would give everything to everyone 1,000%, and I did nothing for myself. And that was very scary, how slippery that slope is. I think there needs to be a space where people can be honest, and honest without judgment. And I think because it's not being said, there is a high level of judgment. But I think if people had to be open and honest about the real harsh difficulties about the journey of parenting, I think it could open up so much more conversation, and I think people would be surprised as to how many people are struggling with similar things. I like being a parent, this is going to sound so selfish, but I like being a parent because it has expanded myself. I have learned so much more about my capabilities and myself. Whether that benefits them, I don't know. I hope that it does. We have a very good relationship. I've never had an issue connecting with her, but there are times where I do feel that resentment coming, but then I am aware of it and I recognize it, and then I can deal with it, because it's not her problem and it should never be her problem. It's my problem and I need to deal with it. She doesn't need to be the victim of my circumstances. I think if I had to leave with a message, it would be not to stigmatize the mental health of parents, that it's absolutely vital for the well-being of the family unit and the well-being of the child. And it doesn't have to be so hard, and you don't have to do it alone. That's what I would say.